Hello everyone and welcome back to the Mania 4-Key World Cup 2022. It is now 4 UTC and we are ready for some more action. The last of the matches in the losers bracket, this time between the United States of America and Vietnam. Quite a matchup we have right here, and of course on the semifinals I'm not going to be alone myself. Crystal, that is. I'll be joined by no other than the legendary Raveli. How you doing?
Hello, this is gonna be a very interesting match between seeds 11 and 12. The last time these two teams faced each other was back in 2015 in the groups when situations were very different. United States went on to win that and Vietnam went on to crash out of the groups. But yeah, we're in the semi-finals and this is a matchup.
Yeah, not only US won that tournament, they also did it in an undefeated fashion. I think it's the only time in history, other than I think South Korea did it once as well, but that was some sick times back then for the United States in 2015. Fun enough as well to mention, I don't recall when we commentated together for World Cups. I think we did at some point, right? But this is like the release duo.
Yeah, I think we might have done one last year, but definitely not this year.
No, it's certainly not this year. But hey, like you were talking about Vietnam not being, like back in the day, not being the powerhouses they are currently. And honestly, it's mostly just a recent thing. Like last year, maybe?
Yeah.
2020, they had a great team as well. But I think they didn't make it out of group stage back then.
They didn't make it out, unfortunately.
But it was very close. Yeah, it was with Russia, Indonesia on that group. It was a very, very close group.
Yeah, they just suddenly revived. All the stars aligned for them. All the star players started joining, and now they're here.
Yeah, and it seems like they're already rolling here. Lot gets the lower brawl, so that means that the US wins the roll, and we see a lot of W's in the chat. Hopefully, the winning of a roll can transition for them in a win for the match, but we shall see with time.
So this should be a ban on Kraken, because Vietnam did ban SV2 on their last 2 matches.
Yeah, I guess a team like the United States, who has historically been pretty good at SVs, you kind of want to go for it. Although again, Vietnam has historically been a fairly good SV team as well. Circumstances are very different this year, I'm aware. It's not the same that we are used to see. And SV2 has historically also been the hard SV pick, so we are not really used to see it as much. But they ban SV1 instead, so Shower Beer is going to be knocked off the park. So T-Deck doesn't get any sort of recognition here on the SV department, but still an opportunity on the hybrids. Hybrid 2 also mapped by him.
Yeah, now
SV2! No!
No SVs!
No SVs matchup. This happened already, right? This is the second time, I think, on this semi-finals already without SVs. Like just both of them being banned. I think Indonesia and the United Kingdom both also banned the SV1 and SV2 respectively.
Dang, no love for SVs.
I know, right? If only they trained it. It's not that hard. Come on, guys.
I mean, both teams did play the last round's SV1.
Oh, US going really quickly into counterclockwise. This is Rise 3, so going straight into one of the, I think, trickiest Rise maps in the pool. That is not Rise.
That is not the right one.
That is formidable enemy. That's a different map. But I mean, I can see the United States map like going for this at some point, but it's not quite now.
Yeah, I think arguably this is the hardest tech map out of the 3.
Oh, I agree with you. Absolutely.
This would be a toss-up, I feel. Vietnam also have a very strong Rise team.
Yeah, they do, and that's what I'm mostly wondering. Like, how is this matchup really going to look like, right? Both of the teams are very solid when it comes to the Rise department. So if maps get very, very close, which I expect them to be, we'll see with this one. I think this will give us a pretty decent picture of how the matchup is going to look like. But if we see close difference, especially in a map like this that is very, very physically demanding, then strategies may vary a lot throughout the matchup. LNs are a big question mark for these two teams. We have no idea who will be the better team between these two. And hybrids, even when you do know who is usually the better hybrid team, it almost always turns out not to be as cut clear as we think it is.
Yeah.
So it comes down to Rise, the strength of both teams, really. And I don't know who has the upper hand. Who do you think is gonna win, Ravi? Not this
I
match,
mean, if the
like
US... Oh, for the match? I just think US have a bit more consistency than Vietnam. But, you know, if that consistency fades away, then Vietnam can easily take it as well.
It feels a little bit like Vietnam might be struggling with a third player here. Like historically, again, we are used to see players like
Yeah. I'm
Devil
surprised
Chile, I
no
imagine.
Tridon for Vietnam, actually.
Yeah, that's true
Savela
as
is
well.
playing this one.
I didn't notice. That's very true. Well, we shall see if Sibelia has enough raw physical abilities to tear through this map. So far, so good. His accuracy is not the best, but it's not bad by any means. And Greek Warrior actually trades a couple 200s over there, making this in favor of the Vietnamese team right now. It's
Yeah, a little bit of a
starting.
shake-up.
Oh, Lot
Oh,
drops.
and a miss from Lot, though. Oh, that gives it right away to the United States. Right before the 400 combo mark as well.
Yeah, that gives Vietnam a bit of a chance if the United States drops, right? Because they didn't quite hit the combo cap. So if a miss happens from the US, accuracy stayed the same, then Vietnam will be, in theory, in the lead, but very, very slightly. So accuracy is going to certainly matter in the event of a miss from the American side here. And as you see, the accuracies right now seems fairly equal for the most part, but with the US being slightly ahead, both Meter and Dev on the 99.8s, whereas Lot and Magnifestio are on the 70s. Well, Lot dropping because of the combo drop, of course, but what is his accuracy by Dev, by the way?
Like, yeah, Dev is crushing it right now. Like, Vela dropping all the way down to 99.4.
Still holding the combo, though.
Yep. It's pretty important if the United States do trade a miss. But like I said, the United States have consistency. Yeah. This map is so easy to just pull off a mistake.
Yeah, a lot of heavy anchors and mini jacks and very, very fast bursts. Like 300 BPM bursts are no joke. 310 actually.
Yeah, and to do it in erratic fashion as well, especially at like this section here where there's like, almost nothing and then suddenly the bursts just come in. It can catch you off guard.
Yeah. And those mini jacks as well, those hands into doubles on the like not both of the outer inner corner, but like 2 and 4s. They are very, very hard to hit. Not a problem so far for the players really. Other than Lot, we have not seen a single miss, and Lot bearing pretty consistent here. There's a miss actually by Sevelia, but traded instantly by Great Warrior.
Yeah, but Great Warrior was the lowest act from the US, so it's not gonna deal too much damage to them.
This accuracy difference between Sibelia and the rest of the United States is proving to be the main difference maker here. Not just the combo, of course, which they are one miss behind, but 99.82 and 99.85. Those are the two best accuracies from the US. And Magnifestio certainly up there, but the rest of the team a little bit behind.
Yeah, very solid scores all around, as well as Magnifestio still holding the only FC from Vietnam.
Bit of a last burst section here. Yeah, I don't think there's enough time anyway. It's going to be the US taking the first point on their own pick, but not by much, I'll say. 21,000 points.
Oh my gosh, 200 from Dev. 2 from Middle, 5 for Magnifestio.
The 200, like the 200 count across the entire teams. Like both actually are insane. Like Sibelia is a little bit behind, surely, but even still, 13s in this is very, very good. And the ratios off, not that far off either.
Indeed. Vietnam going straight for Ultima Thule? Wait, wrong. Secret Sleuth. That's my map.
Yeah, that would be your map. Am I the only one who thinks that the intro of this map sounds like the Incredibles song?
Oh no.
Oh, yes, it does. I think it does anyway. Also, nice track, Ravi. I always said this, you always have great taste when it comes to music.
I mean, I've been in the my scene for 5 years now. Being there has exposed me to different amounts of songs, different amounts of genres. And this is actually part of a project from the Sega team based off my. So it's pretty interesting to see how they're trying to craft songs like this.
Oh my god, the classic asking for a mutual to the referee tactic by the United States being deployed here.
I'm actually surprised that the United States haven't done a mutual to Tiger Eyes yet, since Tiger Eyes is also from the United States.
It happens. So.
But there should be some swaps. I mean, Sun Apple is already in the lobby as well as A Sharp. Should be another swap from Vietnam though.
Yeah, Magnifiesto seems to be swapping out here. Makes sense considering he's mostly a rise-oriented player. We shall see.
I'm waiting for Tridon, because Tridon did play the L-Lens last round.
I mean, maybe... Oh yeah, they're just deciding. I was wondering, maybe he was just not around waiting for them. Still
that is a possibility.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing, right? If you have the option of choice, it's usually a good sign. Like, well, it depends, I guess, because sometimes you're like, well, who's gonna do the least worst between the two? But usually, especially your pick, I imagine it's more like a who's the strongest. It's so close, and yeah, I imagine it's kind of like that. But they are running into the timer, so hopefully they can bring the player as soon as possible now.
Okay, so Miklik is now in the lobby, so
there he is.
That should be the finalized team, yep.
If I remember correctly, I saw Miklik applying for the mentorship program, so we might see some new mapper coming from Vietnam soon. I don't know.
I mean, Miklik has been in the mapping scene for a while, so definitely some experience.
Well, yeah. You can enhance that, I guess, but yeah, fair enough. I thought it was mostly lots from Vietnam who are like the mapping producers, but that's true. It's just that a lot may be the more popular one because it's
yeah.
But anyways, enough rambling around. Let's go through LN1. This is your map, Ravi. You should tell us where should we worry about.
I mean, the main part is just the dubstep drop, really. That's where a lot of the physicality comes in. Otherwise, it's mostly swing release. And for a lot of people, that is pretty bad. But for these 6 players, it should be fine. It just really comes down to the dubstep drop, I feel.
Well, last round's releases were very, very rough. So this one, I imagine, no exception really. But maybe in a different style. Like, this is more manageable, I think, if you have good rhythm in comparison to the other one, which you needed more control, I feel. In this case, I think dropping combo might be easier than the previous round, but accuracy feels overall a little bit more straightforward. Not the case apparently for like Sevilla, but it's not too behind anyway. Score is very, very close at the moment. Off of the back of Lot's accuracy, really Vietnam is pulling a little bit, but not quite enough for the United States to drop that lead. You see the flicker.
Yeah, United States pretty much have that consistency in accuracy, and Vietnam with Lot trying to pull them ahead, but it's just Civil and Miklik falling a little bit behind.
It's mostly the US as a team, but you can see Sun Apple matching Miklik. Lot just overpowering Rip Warrior, but the difference between iSharp and Sevilla is a little bit too high compared to the top 2 of each team, and that's what's making the US take the slight lead off of the first third. And like I said, release maps are well known for being fairly easy to combo compared to the rest of the pool, so misses may not be as normal as we expect from like the Rice department, for instance. And this one specifically, it will come down to the accuracy. And even though A-Sharp is dropping a little bit and Sevilla is starting to climb, so is Miklik actually dropping some accuracy. And that's essentially equalizing the field between these two teams. And US still on the lead off of that.
Yeah, but we're gonna approach that drop really soon, and that is pretty much the biggest place to drop combo.
Those shields not being that big of a problem for anyone here, as the accuracies are just rising over time. Lots of accuracies, by the way, is incredible. 99.88 on this, and into the drop here with the quads. Some good cheat dab step here, but if anything, it seems like Vietnam is the one who's dropping a bit of accuracy.
Yeah. Miklik now in the same accuracy zone as Siberia. As we approach the final callers, the United States still have all three of their combos intact, which is why
oh my god,
they still have this lead, but it's getting
but
really
it's so
small.
Close. This inverse might be a bit tricky, but none of the US players seems to be dropping any sort of accuracy, and if they can hold just for a couple more seconds, they should have this secured. Will the nerves kick in at the end? It doesn't seem like it. A-Sharp starting to hit a little bit spread, so is Sun Apple, and there's a drop on accuracy from A-Sharp. And
there was an accuracy drop.
Oh my god, Vietnam is taking the lead, but it is so short and it's flickering back and forth into the very last couple notes. It seems like Vietnam solidified the lead a little bit, but Miklik is dropping, and so is Sevilla. But at the end, it is the United States by just 200 points, 260.
Wow!
What
What the hell?
Wow. Oh, the score from Load is ridiculous, but the United States still takes it by the skin of the teeth. Oh my goodness, it's just the ratio. It's just A-Sharp's ratio being the difference here, like between him and Siberia. What just happened? That was insanely close until the very last note. It is, after all, a break point, but oof, what a break point.
United States can breathe. That was really scary.
Wow.
But if anything that really shows that Vietnam can take on United States on LLANs, there are still 3 LLAN maps available.
Well, surely you can, but arguably I think this is the better chance for Vietnam because it was the easier chance for them to secure a 3-way FC, which they did. By the way, we had a 6-way FC, like semifinals. Hello, guys. Like, that shouldn't be normal, shouldn't be frequent. Especially when we're talking about 2 of the teams that still have to play another match, like, later today. Like, maybe you expect this from, like, top 8 material, but still.
Players are just getting better.
Players are just getting so much
formidable
better.
enemy comes out. Yep.
Yeah, and I was talking about this as well. They wanted to go for a map like this. Even though the referee got the pick wrongly at the start, and it was like it was evident that the United States was at some point going to pick formidable enemy. I am no surprise in this like this. And honestly, I expect the US to just crush this. Like, I would have thought they maybe wanted to go for this at first instead of like a riskier Rise 7. But I guess they maybe were practicing like Terminal a little bit before the match started, and they wanted to secure that without chokes, which they did fairly well. They only had a single miss. But this one, it should be more like bread and butter accuracy, and they should be fine, I think.
Yeah, United States did play the consistency map of last round, which was NP Addiction. It was the same 3 players. Grip Warrior and Dev got 997, Mitter got 986.
Yeah, you don't beat that. It's literally less than 10,000 points off of the 2 movies. Well, we have to see here. Vietnam is also being fairly good at accuracy all around, but I mean, when it gets this hard, 246 BPM dense jump stream is very, very fast. And again, stamina is gonna certainly be a factor, as they are mentioning in the chart, like on the chat here. Dev being the main one.
So apparently what I'm seeing in the chat is that Tridon is sick, which is why they are... Oh! Okay,
which
I'm
is
gonna
why
eat
they're
my
bringing him
words.
in.
What? I'm being lied to from the chat. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking.
Well, Lord is not playing this one, so
Yeah, that's interesting.
choice. Well, hopefully Tridone's sickness is not too big of an issue. And if it is, really, maybe resting might be a better choice for him, like healthy reasons. But again, we shall see. Maybe he just crushes the map and is actually a buff. We don't know. Hopefully it
Sickness
is
buff,
for
let's
Vietnam.
go.
I mean, we have seen so many different weird types of buffs, really, in the mania scene. I'm not even going to mention some of them.
Likewise, I do know some as well. Well, let's get into this.
Alright, we start to see so far a bit of a lead for the United States off of this early good accuracy, which is, again, like I said, expected from the United States to see very, very high accuracy charts like this. And even though these releases and these lens can be a bit tricky for your ag, nobody's really dropping much on him. And as Magnifiesto is trying his best to pull ahead and equalize compared to the other US players, Tridon is actually doing fairly well himself, but Sevilla, as we saw in the previous right pick, a little bit behind in comparison.
That's the difference maker right now. But with a map this long and a map this stamina draining, you shouldn't be surprised to see any drops from either side.
Oh, absolutely. Misses might just happen off of the stamina requirements, really, of this chart, and during the end mostly. Like, once we're starting to drain the stamina and get towards the very last few patterns, that's when we're going to start to see some stamina struggles and therefore some drops, maybe accuracy drops. But so far so good for both of the teams. Like, the United States have a clear lead, and now after the miss from Sevilla, they have an even clearer lead now in their favor. Pretty good there for the United States now taking a very, very, very good lead, really, because they can now afford to miss, and they will still have the accuracy advantage. And Sevilla, again, his stamina is just tank.
Yeah, for Vietnam, I feel like, oh!
What?
Okay, let me take that back. Dev with a drop. I was about to say Vietnam is also kind of suffering with third player issues. But with that miss from Dev, now things start to shake up a little bit.
I mean, US should still be fairly comfortable in the lead here, but that was a spooky miss, and in one of the easier sections too, I'll argue. Obviously, like, we talk about the sections being a little bit easier, but sometimes transition, because they are so different to the autopilot mode, can be a bit complicated, but doesn't seem to be the case here, as Vietnam starting to collapse into these harder patterns, which is arguably, again, the hardest part of the chart here. And Seville is just not being able to keep up properly with this. 2 misses already from that section, and 1 from Tridone. And as though Manifest is still holding... Oh, whoa, Dev!
That is...
Dev, that was a huge drop. But Seville is also dropping... Oh, but Dev is just... What just happened?
Okay. That lead started to shrink really fast, but Tridone will trade it back. But
Dev is still dropping! Dev is just gone! He's gone! What's happening? What? Client? Hello?
Oh, wait.
Did his keyboard just DC? What?
We'll have to find out. Because it did seem like United States still had a pretty comfortable lead despite Dev, I guess.
But that was so weird. At some point, he was like holding the first column and the accuracy was not shaking at all. And as soon as he started pressing some keys, the accuracy just went straight into the 97s. And that's gonna, I mean, at this point, it doesn't even matter whatever US tries to do. Vietnam just has this point on the back as long as this is valid.
I mean, it has to be valid at this point. We're so far into the map.
It should be, but again, we never know.
But we'll have to see what was the issue.
Yeah,
Boy and Mitter, though, both finishing with 99.9s.
Like, we saw a clear struggle there by Dev at some point, but then he just straight up DC. Like, that was a V1 double S, by the way, by Mitter.
Wow.
Double 997,000 points on this map. It's crazy. And even though Magnifiesto and Tridone, without those misses, well, but like without the misses from Tridone, really, they will have probably not necessarily matched, but being fairly close. it was mostly the difference between Siberia and Dev again. And this time you can't really blame anything. 86 misses, that was like a huge, yeah, the computer just freezing. It did look like it was some sort of like hardware malfunction. And it very well was. Vietnam takes the point. A break point that very much needed, maybe not in the most conventional of ways and not the most desirable ones either. But match still go on. And Lot is going to make the second pick now for Vietnam.
I'm thinking they could try and dip their legs into the hybrid waters.
I was thinking the same, but I'm not so sure. Like, maybe they feel comfortable with like 2 Ys for you. Like, if they can get a 3-way FC on it, I think it's a good pick. If they have consistency problems with LN2, they probably want to go for a hybrid. I agree with you.
Vietnam are requesting a timeout. Yep.
Okay. I mean, winning a map like that when you didn't expect it to may change your strategy in some way, but I'm not sure. Like, you wouldn't just go for like another consistency pick off of this performance by the US really, because they destroyed the chat. It was just a technical difficulty. Like, I can see if Vietnam won this off of a choke or something, picking straight into Rise again just off of tilt is sometimes a decent strategy. But in this regard, I think the timeout is mostly just to like mentally prepare for what's coming now, and maybe discuss between LN2 and hybrid. I'm not sure which hybrid specifically really. Probably hybrid 1?
I think hybrid 1 is fine. Like, if we look at the last round statistics, Vietnam were really close on last round's hybrid 1 and hybrid 3 compared to the United States. Like, if we look at Meteor and trucks, like, United States was 2974, Vietnam 2972. For Azure Vixen, United States was 2968, Vietnam 2963. So just off a couple thousand points.
I mean, when the difficulty increases, usually the team that has the upper hand in the earlier stages will make a bigger difference in the later game. At least if they keep the same roster, that is, right? If they have to make player swaps, then it can be anything. So at this point, again, we are mostly, I mean, with the both of us seems to agree. It is either LN2 or Hybrid 1, and yeah, they're going for LN2. They're going for 2 eyes for you. This song.
It's great. What do you mean? Density. Alright, time to bring back the big gun. Sun Apple is in the lobby.
My god, why is the US always so silly on the chat? It just never changes. It doesn't matter the game mode, doesn't matter the year, doesn't matter who's the captain, it's always like it. I don't know, it's on their veins, it's on their blood.
American culture.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, what do I say? What can I even say about it? And the worst part is that it is contagious. Like, it's not just Grip Warriors. Like, the team is just getting into it. I just hope the referee doesn't get contagious.
Oh no! Anyways, we're just waiting for the third party from Vietnam.
Yeah, I think they're waiting for Sevilla apparently. So.
Yep.
No, Mickey? which was playing on the LN1, I think. But we see, oh, actually, yeah, there is Mikli.
Oh, okay. I mean, Siberia did play the LN maps from last round, but I guess it can be interchangeable.
There is the third player. Oh no, it is full. The transformation is complete. The United States ready to play now.
So is Vietnam.
You know what would be very funny? Is that they were like typing something silly in the chat and then the map just starts with a very sudden SV and they just cannot get it.
I mean, that's why both SV maps are banned, right?
Absolutely. It's just for banter purposes. Alright, then here we go. 2-1 to the United States. This is Vietnam's pick. Second pick, in fact. And it's LN2 Katagiri, 2 Wise for you, 200 BPM LN density, and mostly just the same for 3 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. It just really tests your consistency.
It's very easy to drop in maps like this, and not only that, but when you miss on maps like this, it's very easy to drop a lot of accuracy. So you have to be very, very careful and make sure to mitigate the damage as much as possible. When you see you're starting to drag or rush, trying to accommodate is sometimes not a good idea. You really need to be good at noticing if it is a rush or a drag to accommodate as soon as possible. And there is a first miss actually by Sun Apple. It was that instance of rushing a little bit.
Yeah.
It was fairly
to Vietnam.
Could have been worse. And there's Mitter now.
Second miss on Mitter.
Oh, this is like a
Vietnam really hitting. Yeah, they're just hitting all of the right notes. With Warrior, of course, being the king right now, 99.88, but the 2 misses is gonna hurt.
It seems like the ratio overall from Vietnam is not as spectacular, but they're keeping their consistency right and there. But there's Mikli's first miss. It was a very clean miss though, so it's not gonna switch the lead that like drastically, really.
Yeah, that would trade with Mitter's accuracy, but now Sun Apple is just a difference maker.
I'm also looking at Stride and look at his hit concentration. He's getting a little bit too wide for comfort, really. And he's starting to drag a little bit. He seems to be accommodating now, but any one of those drags, long drags, can end in disaster for Vietnam, and they are dropping a little bit of accuracy as time goes on.
Yeah, a little bit of a break section here, just to, you know, calm your nerves down a little bit, but Trigon picking up 200 there, as we go straight back into LN density.
As long as they can keep up this section, it should be fine. There's a couple 200s being dropped there by the Vietnamese side, and the lead is shrinking. It's not shrinking to the degree where it gets too dangerous until the end. If it is a miss from Vietnam, then there is a chance for the United States. Otherwise, I imagine this is sealed and deal. But will it happen as we get into the very, very last few sort of pseudo-imbo section? Is Mitter who drops from the United States. That's gonna give just the lead, the advantage. Yeah, it should just give the leeway for the Vietnamese. And there's another one as well. Very, very clean misses, by the way, by Mitter. But even still, it's not gonna matter as Vietnam with 2-way FCs, Lot and Tridon Gaming, after a single miss again from Sun Apple, will take their second point in a row. Mikli being the only miss on the Vietnamese team.
Oh my god.
And even though the 200 counts were huge for the United States, it wasn't quite enough. 5 misses was a little bit too much.
Grip with 1 200. We are all square.
Yeah. Great scores there by Grip Warrior and Law. Both getting very, very solid ratios, 10-1.
Okay, back to United States pick. I mean, we're probably gonna see another Vice map. The question is which one?
I mean, I'm not sure. I probably want to go for another sort of jump stream like pick, right? So,
I mean, Kasuga?
Yeah, sounds about right. It's a bit too fast, isn't it? I don't recall. I mean, honestly, any Rise should probably be fine. For middle enemy was honestly the best chance they had to just win a match like very convincingly on the rise department, and they had this unfortunate like hardware malfunction.
Yeah.
They're going straight for Genova here. Actually, they mentioned this in the
Genova?
chat. Yeah. So this is streams, right? It's a Joel map.
This is dumb streams. 262, I think.
Good old dumb stream.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah.
What did you say? 262?
262, yeah.
That sounds about right.
Manifestio is in the wrong slot, but that should be the 3 players from Vietnam. I think they're just waiting for Dev, maybe? If Dev is still okay to play. Hopefully what happened in Formidable Enemy doesn't affect them too much. Okay, so Dev should be coming back. So something also to point out, last round's Dumbstream map, which was a Fiona, I believe, Tridon got the 4th best score in that. And they are playing.
I mean, honestly, this looks like the ideal Rise team for Vietnam. Like Magnifestio, Lot, and Tridon. I think it's the first time we're actually seeing these 3 all together on the same map. Because in the past we saw Lot, Magnifiesto, and Sevilla, Tridon, Magnifiesto, and Sevilla, and now we're seeing Lot, Tridon, and Magnifestio, right? So it's the first time I believe we're seeing these 3. For the US, this is just bread and butter at this point. Mitter, Dev, Rip Warrior for Rise.
Yeah.
A Sharp mostly plays Lens, right? So
yeah, so is
like
Sun
the
Apple.
Rise sim. Yeah, and Sun Apple.
Oh, there's a swap actually?
Oh.
So Sivelia's coming in for this one.
Well, seems like we're not getting the dream team that we were expecting to.
Maybe this could work out.
We shall see if this works out because they are ready to start here. And with all the players getting loaded, it is time for map number 5 of a possible third. I was about to say 13. Yes, 13 is the right number.
Oh,
So
also I'm getting corrected.
5.
It is 350. Whoops.
Oh, it's 1/8.
My bad.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's 1/8. I thought it was 1/6. My eyes are just stupid.
I mean, again, I thought it was like single streams 350 or like 260, like you were saying dumb streams, so it would make sense to be 260. Oh, Lot?
Oh, very
Hello?
early drop from Lot. That's a fine place to miss, but that's not a good start for Vietnam.
I mean, you don't want to miss. Yeah, this is single streams. I told you. I was right. Anyways, into the single streams, 350 BPM. Essentially, raw physicality being tested here. And Sevilla, yeah, I was about to mention Sevilla's not having a great time with it. Oh, this was a great pick by the United States. They're certainly hitting Vietnam on the weakness here. And even Magnifestio now dropping, so...
Yeah, all of Vietnam drop now.
Yeah, so even with Tridon, like, imagine Tridon was on a better condition here. Maybe he was supposed to be the one playing this map. Like, even still, you see a miss from Magnifestio, and the US is still very, very solidly on the lead. Even Lord is starting to struggle to keep up with this. And the US is just chilling. Like, absolutely destroying this chart. Well, until Dev misses, but even still, they are still destroying the chart, don't get me wrong.
Yeah. 99.85 and 86 from Mitter and Grip Warrior.
How can people have this degree of control over single streams is beyond me. I'll never understand it.
This is the standard of the Mania World Cup.
Yeah.
Seed 11, by the way, on your left.
Like, how do you get a 99.88 on this? It's ridiculous. Great Warriors just absolutely destroying this shot. And even like the rest of the United States is also doing fantastically well. With the miss now from Mitter, unfortunately it's gonna not necessarily ruin the score, but certainly hurt it a little bit. The US is still in a huge lead right now. It doesn't even matter.
It's over.
It's mostly just about flexing now. And there's a 200 by Greek Warrior, unfortunately, by the very end. I think it's the only 200, maybe two.
Is that one 200?
I think they may
Is
have
that the only one?
two, but it could have been just one. Oh, it was just that 200.
Oh my god, it was the only one.
Oh my god. They have 5 200s across the entire team, and the lowest 200 come from Vietnam is 8. And the ratios as well, it doesn't even make sense. 10-1, even better than that from Greek Warrior. That is a monstrous performance here by the United States. This
Straight
is
away
this
encryption.
This is just illegal.
We should be seeing more changes again. A sharp, maybe Sun Apple probably coming back in.
Oh, encryption, man. I could take notes.
Yep.
It's just so good. I'll like it. I'll never get tired of tracks by Anne. Like, they are all majestic. That being said, this is one of the ones I like the least, but I still like it. There you go, you have both of the swaps you were calling for, Sun Apple and A-Shop joining the United States here. And Vietnam, well, they're figuring out their swaps. Seems like Lot is certainly going to stay in. And at this point, I mean, I imagine Miklik is gonna join, as we expect from LNs in general. You know what's insane as well? The fact that US won the LN1 by 264 points now matters so much. Like, if Vietnam had that one, they would be now 3-2 on the lead on their pick. There is Tridom. Probably Miklik. Yeah, there it is. Should be getting ready now for map number 6 now. And we shall see. They're starting to run out of picks, Vietnam that is. LM4 should work. I think Vietnam might have the upper hand on this, like 60-40 maybe. But then on LN3 it gets a bit tricky, and into the hybrids again. You have hybrid 1, which is probably fine. You can try your luck on hybrid 3, although I'm not sure if it favors Vietnam as much as it would have last week. I don't know. This is the usual turning point of Mania. Yeah, of Mania World Cup usually has this theme, right? When you have two teams, that one is better on the Rise department, one is better on the LN department. So the Rise team just goes for the insanely hard and dense, like, Rise picks across the board. The LN team goes for the release-oriented and control picks, and it is very clear who wins each map. And once the match just tracks a little bit, it is either the Rise team having the upper hand on the easier maps, therefore not dropping any points, or the LN team being not strong enough to keep up on the hybrids. So that's usually the dynamic you see in a match between two teams that are very, very close to each other, but have a clear strength above the other. And this strength is a lane for Vietnam, but we saw them losing already on it. See if they can keep it up though after the convincing win on LN2. Sun Apple is struggling with the accuracy here so much compared to everybody else.
The releases in this map are brutal.
Yeah, they are. They almost feel random at points, but you have to pay so close attention to the gaps, really. Like the noises. Yeah, the lead is shrinking because of Miklik's accuracy dropping as well. have to pay a lot of attention. The gaps are very, very inconsistent, and although there are sound cues to identify the length of a long note, even when you know it, it gets very hard. And there's a miss by Tridon as well.
That's a pretty brutal drop I saw from Tridon, down to 99.2. Mid-click almost dropping out of 99 as we say that. Now the United States have a good lead.
Oh, Tridon dropping a lot of accuracy, and there's the miss. I was waiting for it. When you see those kind of rushes of accuracy drops, it's only followed by a miss. And at this point, even though the US is not having the best of days when it comes to accuracy, certainly a better one compared to Vietnam, and a very, very considerable lead in the favor of the North Americans right now. This map is just brutal.
We're already halfway through. Lot is still holding the lobby MVP over Grid Warrior. It's just the two compatriots on the Vietnamese side.
Yeah, it really needs to be a bit of a collapse by one of the US players, or a double, maybe triple miss, if they have a chance to drop this. If they can keep their combos together and not hugely drop their accuracies, they should be fine. This lead is fairly decent. But again, we saw sections with very big accuracy drops on the Vietnamese side, and even though the US managed to hold on through it, they didn't remain untouched.
15,000 points of the lead.
With a map that is 4 minutes, that is a very significant lead.
There's still a lot of room for error from the United States, but there has to be multiple drops.
Yeah, this version in particular as well is more so like an accuracy builder, really, mostly filler 1-4 LNs with some consistent gaps, but now we're gonna get into a bit of a trickier, different style of imbus, and there is the miss by A-Sharp, the first one to drop from the US. It's not gonna be enough, but they have to be careful not to drop a little bit longer. Uncomfortable patterns here to hold the combination. Oh, lot trades though! That was a miss by Sun Apple, but it's instantly traded by the full combo from Lot. And that's only gonna damage Vietnam, I think. It's not gonna help at all. That's gonna
hurt Vietnam even more, because now Lot's accuracy is lower than Grip.
And
that could be it if Grip always just holds on.
That's it, I think. At this point, it doesn't really have much time left unless a catastrophe happens, and it's only happening on Vietnam here as Tridon misses once again on the seam bus, while the US remains strong and solid. But there's another miss now by Sun Apple, instantly traded by Tridon. It's not gonna matter at all. There's only like 5 seconds remaining into this, and it is over. The US wins another breakpoint for themselves, 20,000 points of difference. And again, at this time it was mostly off of the back of the 200 counts, 51 and 55 for both Tridom and Mike respectively. Lot crushing this map as he usually does with this kind of things. Not as good as Grid Warrior with his FC, the only one on the lobby. Actually, not the only one. The Mike also got an FC.
Yeah. And Katuga. Now we're going into jump streams.
Is it Katuga or is it C-Thuga?
C-Thuga, Katuga, I don't know. It's like the Usao map.
Yeah, exactly. The total Usao map. And you know, people like to think this is like Katuga because of Cthulhu, I imagine. But I'm not sure, because you don't have the apostrophe, right? I'm not sure if that's the way you pronounce it. Anyway. Solar Flare 1.25, yeah. 266 is like... We were talking about the previous map being 262, even though it was 350 single streams. This is this 266 BPM like jump stream, right? This is very, very fast jump stream. And that's it. And again, we see, okay, this time do we actually get to see the 3-man roster we want to see on Rise for Vietnam? Or will we not? Like, again,
yeah, should be coming back in for you, US.
Yeah, I understand Tridon has been struggling a little bit with, like, being a bit sick. So that's probably the reason why he's not playing some, if not all of the Rise. See Booga? Oh, no.
No. Alright,
There's
Dev's
Dev.
in the lobby. This should be our finalized 6.
Oh no. Here comes the silliness again. Yeah, it is very funny to see a United States citizen calling their debt just 0. And meanwhile, I'm Argentinian. I'm like, if only.
Oops. Alright, let's go. You get to see that 3-man Rice roster from Vietnam.
First time,
Let's
actually,
see
yeah.
if it comes into fruition, yeah. Wait, this is a US pick, right?
Yeah. The
Yeah,
card
okay,
is wrong.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
this
card's
is
wrong.
this
Alright,
is
cool.
US pick.
I got a little bit like shaken. Why did Vietnam pick Rice?
What if they win it though?
Oh, that will be the biggest shake-up. Because then Vietnam has some
What?
options in Rice. They have a very early drop. Okay. I mean, it shouldn't dictate the entire map, but
It's a fairly short, like, fast map, so if Vietnam have what it takes to FC this, which I think they do in a good run, then maybe that miss will end up proving to be devastating for the United States. As it stands right now, Vietnam is holding a very short lead. So it will come down to this anchors.
Accuracy starting to drop a little bit from the Vietnamese side. Tridon and Manifestio dropping a little bit. Good ball in mid, both 49.9, and Dev is slowly climbing back up to 99.8.
Oh boy. It is very close. That lead is shrinking with time, and I think with enough time, the United States is going to recover off of that miss. And they are slowly but surely starting to pull it in their way, and they are ahead into the break section. They managed to do it, overcome that single miss on the very early stages off of the back of their accuracies. It's a very short margin. They cannot really afford to drop any single combo, nor many 200s.
Tridon right now is just dropping accuracy very slowly, which is why the lead is slowly going towards the United States.
Very last third, and it's a miss by Dev, and it gets treated by Manifestio. Oh my god, and it's like nothing happened. The US now has a better lead, even though mostly off the back of Tridon's accuracy and Law dropping a little bit. Still some time for a big quick shake-up, but the United States certainly looking solid by the end of it, and with the miss from Manifestio, it's only looking better into the very final patterns. Dream Warrior is the one who drops, but I don't think it's going to be nearly enough. It's not enough time at all for the Vietnamese team to cash on it, and it's a 9,000 point lead for the United States, but that got very spooky to the end when we saw the miss by Dev. Had Manifesto FC that map, that was it. Like, with an FC, Manifesto, Vietnam wins that 100%.
It was just a 10,000 point difference. Without the misses, also, that's a 990 at the least.
I want to take just a single second to notice that every player from the US has less than 200, 300.
Oh my gosh.
And Green Warrior has almost like a 20-to-1 ratio, which is like mad lad material.
Alright, Vietnam exhausting all of their LNs. We're going into I know there's a way to pronounce this, let me check it.
Oh, they just pulled the name off of the
Penblur. Apparently this is what it's called. If Vietnam loses, United States are at match point, so they need to win this. We click back in the lobby. Very quick shots from the United States.
So how was the way you pronounced this, you said?
Penblur.
Penblur.
Yeah, T-E-M-B-L-O-R. Yeah.
No, it makes sense, right? Because the X means 10 in like Roman numbers.
It's just down Vortex naming, it's ridiculous. But yeah, the swaps coming in really quick. Sun Apple and A-Sharp are already back in. McLeek is already in for Vietnam. We should be getting ourselves started soon.
Yeah, we see the Ellen roster where we usually see from Vietnam, Lot, Mikli, and Tridome. But yeah, things are looking a bit grim for Vietnam. If they really need to win this map, I mean, they're still just one break point off. If they win this, they break point once and they win their picks. This is the tiebreaker. But they have to start to win their own picks, really. They won 2 maps. One was a break point, so they only won a single one of their choices. So that was LN2.
This is a do or die map now for Vietnam.
I mean, it isn't like mathematically speaking, but it really
It's
is
not,
when
but
it comes to
yeah.
like how the match will end up looking like.
It's not a do or die map, it's a do or die pick.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Whatever's happening in the IRC chat, just don't get timed out right before the map starts.
Oh, it would be very funny if it happened.
Oh no.
Like, the worst part is, like, legally speaking, like, if you get silenced by spamming, then you're gone. Like, you can't get back. Like, because you don't have enough time, right? Back then, maybe if it was like a 5-minute silence, you could wait it out. But now you're just gone. So you really have to be careful. Into long no 3s, it is Templar.
Yeah, it's a mixed L-lane pick. There are some broken rhythms here and there.
Oh, A-Shop
already catching A-Shop.
A lot, actually.
Oh. That's a couple of drops. Vietnam have a very good lead now from the start.
Good start for Vietnam. Even in accuracy as well, Sun Apple is struggling a little bit compared to everyone else in the Vietnamese side. And even with this performance by Grip Warrior, Lord is outperforming him ever so slightly. So as it stands right now, the US is fighting an uphill battle on this pick, really, into the second third of the map. Vietnam is holding a lead, but that lead is not too big. Surely A-Shop had a bit of a hiccup with that big drop at the very start, but it was still a very early miss, which puts Vietnam in an uncomfortable situation where they can't really afford to miss, even though they have certainly an accuracy advantage. But now with the miss by Sun Apple, that's exactly what Vietnam was actually looking for.
Yeah.
Because now they have a very comfortable lead and they can afford to go some accuracy mistakes. They are.
Yeah, this is a very good question. This is a lead that we rarely see on Vietnam, but I don't have a miss.
That was a 0.2 accuracy as well, drop. Does the US have enough time to pull ahead? Yeah, they should be.
There needs to be another.
But this is getting dangerously close. Like, surely it's not enough as we hit the 400 combo cap here. But this section is very tricky and McClick is dropping accuracy. Oh, will it get down to the wire? I don't think at this point, yeah, this is it. There isn't enough difficulty for them to drop, and it's a 6,000 point lead for Vietnam. And the scores are just also similar.
Oh my gosh. Grip Warriors is getting lobby MVP. But it is just the scores on Vietnam overall.
That was a 2 FC for Vietnam and a single FC from the United States. But it was still insanely close. Like, the 200s were almost identical across the board. I think they were like, how many? They were like 1, maybe 2 200s of difference between both teams, like across the board. And the ratios were also fairly similar. Like, Grip Warrior is a little bit better than Lot, but that equalizes with the difference between Tridom and iShop and Sun, Apple, and Mikli. So in a sense, they're really, really, really evenly matched, and it comes down to this sort of mistakes that happen every now and then. Vietnam that takes their 3rd point. 2nd, they win on their own picks and into Delirium. And even still, like, it doesn't look like it, but US starting to run out of rice picks as well. If they win both of the rice picks that are remaining, they win the match, of course. But if Vietnam breaks point just a single time, then they are forced to go to hybrids at some point.
Vietnam has to win a rice. That's the most important thing.
Yep. They already did one in a unconventional fashion again, like you said,
Yeah.
with the DC sort of like situation. But they were very close at some point as well in some of the consistency picks, one of the easier picks. So it'll come down to Delirium, and the last one that we have is also Corjax, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think the US will still have the upper hand when it comes to Corjax, but we're starting to get into this sort of, not necessarily gimmick, but unorthodox, let's say, Rise skill sets.
Very specific skill set.
Yeah, that is the word. Specific is a better word for it.
Manifesto coming back in.
Seems like Tridom is refusing to go. Again, I can only imagine this is a situation of Captain of Vietnam Lord trying to give Lottie, like, to Tridon rather some rest due to him not feeling the best. But it's so
are you
hard.
asking for? Oh, Tridon wants to try.
It's like, coach, put me in. I got this.
Let's see. If Vietnam win this, oh boy, that is a statement.
Oh boy, that would be some sort of fairy tale.
Yeah, if Vietnam do lose this, it's still fine because they still get freedom of choice to pick.
Yeah, they have to go for hybrids. That's the only thing.
Yeah. I mean, it will have to be the Elon hybrid, which is Ultima Thule.
Yeah.
But let's see.
This map is so tricky. It is so easy to drop, man. Like everywhere. There's not a single portion of the map where you cannot like relax. Dorito patterns, the mini jacks all over the place. It is so easy if you don't have the speed to control this and you have to actually force your hand a little bit for the mini jacks. It is insane.
Yeah, and this is the US playground, I would say, locked with a drop.
I think there were two actually as well.
Drops,
not just well, like 2 consecutive drops. Which is not really gonna matter all that much because it just hits your accuracy for a bit harder. And his accuracy is still decent.
You can just see the accuracy from the US. Oh my gosh.
Oh, they're great, but they're not that big of a difference. Like, the difference is not huge. It's not massive between the two teams. And though this is a map that is fairly short, a minor mistake, like a drop, can chain into multiple misses. And if that happens to the US, this is certainly not a big enough lead for that not to swap it. So they have to be careful. I don't expect the US to really miss at any point for this map though, but they really have to be careful. Possible. They can't afford. And there's a miss by Manifesto. And Tridon as well. Okay, this gives a lot of breathing room.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. The US is just gonna run away with this. As you see, the lead just keeps growing and growing.
This team score from the US is just...
Is this a 3v1 double S? 3-way B1 double... No!
Oh my God. I really cursed them.
No. If they have a 3-way B1 double S with 2 misses, I'm gonna be so mad at myself. Like, so mad at myself. I think Green Warrior got like a 100 or a 50 off of that chain miss. But I'm gonna be so mad at myself. Oh my... Oh, okay, never mind. Oh my God. Oh my God. When I saw those 2 zeros on the back row, I was like, no, don't.
It can't be right. Oh man, that is such an insane score.
I mean, don't discredit Vietnam. Don't discredit Vietnam on this either.
Of course not.
They had incredible showing here. If they didn't miss at all, they probably win this. Like, with 3-way FC, I think they win this.
Oh, can you imagine if they were still holding FCs and then the double drop from the US happens? That would be insane. But now it is Vietnam's pick. 1 rice, 4 hybrids.
So, Ultima? Oh
Oh,
no, actually they're going for hybrid through. Okay.
going for Revelation, which is the rice-based hybrid. Interesting.
The name of the
Frostleaf
song is so
is in the
long
lobby.
that it doesn't even fit.
Yeah, I just call it Revelation. Frostleaf in the
Revelation.
lobby. Who should be coming in for Vietnam?
Frostleaf?
For the third. No, for the third player, because Tridon is swapping out. I think. Are they?
Yeah, I imagine this is gonna be what's gonna be Sevilla, maybe? Oh, but this not having Tridon hurts so much. Oh, it's my click.
Yeah, McClick is in.
Click. We're seeing Frostleaf for the first time here in this matchup.
Alright, now, previously it was a do or die pick, now it's a do or die map. If Vietnam loses, they are out of the tournament. They are gonna fight for tournament lives from here on out.
But is the pick?
But
So we shall
this is
see.
gonna be interesting. Hybrids, both teams have been so close.
Yeah, but again, not having Tridon for this, I think it's gonna hurt them a little bit too much. I don't want to discredit Frostleaf's like consistency on maps like this. Neither Miklik. Oh, well, I mean, he doesn't have the greatest of the start. I'll say that much. We shall see.
It is very early on, so hopefully you shouldn't tank too much of damage.
Oh, it really shouldn't, but you can't really afford to give any sort of lead to a team like the United States. Because just the most minor of mistakes they can easily capitalize off. And they are certainly doing as much, at least this early into the Hyper 2 pick here. Pretty short map as well, 2 minutes. In the middle, the accuracy favors US quite heavily. Now is Michael just struggling so much with this. And it's so does Frostleaf. Oh, Vietnam is just gone. Yep.
Yeah, still 3-way FC from the United States, still holding up. Oh, okay. 2-way FC from the United States, still holding 99.8 from both lists.
Yeah, but at this point, again, even if we curse as much as we can, it's not really gonna matter. This lead is just absurdly big. 50, maybe 60,000 points. This is not a lead you can come back from at all. When you see a player that is on a 99.62 and is the lowest of a team against a 98.8, that difference is just not something you can really recover from.
Oh.
There's like miss by Grip Warrior. Again, this accuracy disadvantage is just too big.
Yeah. I was just thinking maybe you could give a little bit of luck on Vietnam, but
Mikli's just struggling with the mini jack so much he can't keep up with this.
and that should be it. As the map closes.
Another miss
We
by
probably
Grip
have another
Warrior.
miss towards the end. Middle and lot with the only FCs in lobby. Very respectable accuracies as well. And that should be it. The United States will take it 7-3 and they will advance into the next stage. Commiserations to Vietnam.
Wow.
They performed extremely well. A lot. Wow.
And Mitter as well. Like,
Yep.
that score by Mitter is huge. Like, very, very insane ratio too. But hey, that's the end of the road for Vietnam. They have been improving so much compared to previous years. And they should be really proud for reaching this far. And against a team with so much history behind their shoulders, like the United States. Like,
It's a really good performance from the start all the way to the end. And like, Vietnam has also been just climbing in terms of their tournament rosters as well. So hopefully next year they could also come up with a similar roster or even better, and it could go even further. But it is United States taking this one. They will be facing another United team in
oh my
the
God.
Kingdom.
Are we playing United in that matchup, please?
United against United. It's just the States and the Kingdom. That will happen at 18 UTC.
Yeah, that's a match for. I was about to say tomorrow, but it's technically today.
Yeah, time zones.
Yeah,
But with
exactly.
that,
I think it would it be tomorrow for you? I think it is, right?
It will be tomorrow for me. It would be 2 a.m. on a Monday.
Yikes. Well, I mean, if you probably have better things to do, like sleeping, but otherwise, you don't want to meet that much. I think that's one of the most interesting matches of the entire weekend.
Oh, that
I mean, honestly,
really
I'm kind of lying because every match right now is so interesting. Like, there's not a single match I'd want to. Like, every match I would not miss at all if I had the chance.
Hey, speaking of matches you don't want to miss, 9 UTC, the next match, Philippines and South Korea. I don't think you want to miss that. It's a very...
Oh, no.
It's a...
Absolutely no. It is a hype match. It's a hype match and a half, honestly.
Oh,
because
man. If we were talking about like a few years before, then it would be, you know, could be Korea crushing it. But now, oh, things are so much different.
They are so close to each other in terms of skill. Like, and again, this is a matchup we are like used to see. It's something that happens fairly regularly to see Philippines against Korea. Of course, I'm a boomer, so I remember the 2014 finals, which is ancient.
Oh my god!
And it was not against the. It was not against the. It was actually against the Philippines. Yeah, that they faced Malaysia on the semifinals, and they beat the Philippines on the finals. Back on the days where Arkwin was playing and Tokiwa, I think, was also playing. Those were some old days.
Ancient names. Not so ancient players now, though. But yeah, I think with that, we should be closing the stream soon. Banners, do get them. The World Cup is about to end soon.
Yeah, you should definitely get some banners. Like, you have like maybe just a single week, and you already have a decent picture of all the teams that are remaining. Remember, if you pick the team that wins the tournament, then you get to keep your banner for a bit longer. So maybe pick wisely, or maybe you just pick the team you support the most. You can even be an eliminated team. Like, I could get an Argentinian banner right now if I wanted, even though they are already eliminated. It's mostly just to support the tournament, really, more than anything else. But of course, you get your shiny badge for the team you support the most, and it's a way to support the players and the teams as well, because it helps founding the tournament just in general. And it's only $2.5 US, I think. Yes.
That sounds about right.
I actually made a trivia question for this on COE, so I should know this.
Oh, also today is Arkwin's birthday, so just shout outs to them.
Oh.
Before the Philippines match, yeah.
Oh well, maybe he gets
maybe
the
some
present.
good luck.
Yeah. Who knows? The good part about this match is that whoever loses doesn't really get eliminated.
Yeah, it's a winners bracket match.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, of course,
I think
you want to secure top 3, right? Like, the winner of this secures top 3, and you definitely want to do that. So yeah, enough rambling. That was it for the stream. We will be back in about 3 hours for winners bracket encounter and into the very last stretch of the semifinals. So you don't want to miss it. Philippines, Korea, and then Japan, China. Like, honestly, like I said, every single match remaining right now is going to be insane. You don't want to miss any of them. If you have the chance, stick for them all. If not, well, I hope I just see you for the next one then. Take care.
See you.
Have a good night, evening, afternoon, whatever it is. And see you for Philippines and Korea.